I'm Andrew McConachie, and with me today is Patrik Fälström from ICANN Security and Stability Advisory Committee. Patrik, I understand the SSAC has just published a document on emoji in domain names. Would you like to tell us a little bit about that document?
Absolutely. So we in SSAC are interested in emojis just like everyone else on the planet. It's quite popular. Everyone wants to use it in text. And we wanted to investigate how to use emojis in domain names, if at all. During that study, the first thing, of course, that we discovered was that emojis are not part of the ICANN standard, the standard for internationalized domain names, just like many other symbols. So they simply cannot be used. So the question here is instead, what software or otherwise are actually allowing characters that are not valid according to the standard itself, which makes things a little bit complicated. But we felt in SSAC that it was valuable for us to still sort of explain the situation.
Mm-hmm. Could you tell us a little bit about why the Unicode Consortium decided not to include, or why the Internet Engineering Task Force decided not to include emoji in the ICANN standard?
Sure. The ICANN standard that the Internet Engineering Task Force is developing and supporting and coming up with new versions of, they pick certain classes of characters or kinds of characters to be allowed in domain names, like ordinary letters or digits or hyphen. But they do not allow symbols or space or control characters and other kind of characters. And it is the Unicode Consortium that is deciding what kind of character a certain sort of character is. It sounds a little bit complicated, but you have all of these sort of symbols and things that might look different in different computers. It might be the case that, for example, for emojis, there's no way to speak it. So you cannot say them, which means that accessibility is a problem. It's also the case that you have other kind of things like risk for confusability because a smiley face might look different in different computers or in different applications, and lots and lots of other kind of things.
Sure. So there's a confusability issue.
Confusability is one of the issues, but you also have this accessibility issue. Yes. And it's also the case that for emojis nowadays, you can also have modifiers to each one of the emojis. So for example, you can have an emoji which is happy smiley face with different skin tone, for example. Mm-hmm. So the question is also then, how do you handle that kind of modifier? So there are lots and lots of those kind of issues, but fundamentally, that is one of the reasons why emojis and other symbols are not allowed as characters to be used in domain names in the first place.
What are the kind of problems that a user might experience if they were confused or if they followed the wrong domain name? Mm-hmm. What are some of the security implications for the user?
The first one, of course, is that if a user sees a domain name that includes, for example, an emoji, and the user then types that domain name into the browser or email client, for example, if it is the case the user types the wrong smiley face, the one with closed mouth instead of open mouth, it might be the case that you end up on the wrong website, where someone might sort of impersonate the correct website and start ask for everything from credit card numbers to everything else. And we call that phishing. That's one way of sort of, you don't end up where you were supposed to be. So confusability is sort of a general issue that we have with characters in many cases, of course, but for emojis, it's specifically complicated.
Thanks. Thank you, Patrik. Thanks for talking with us today.
Thank you very much.